Hey guys, it's About Beer 30. Let's take a walk into the kitchen and see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. I certainly do appreciate it. Today's beer comes from Trillium Brewing. These guys are up in Massachusetts. This is their super secret stairs. It's a secret. This comes to me from Greg, my brother Greg. Thanks a bunch, Greg. I do appreciate all the support you give me, my friend. This guy sends me a ton of beer just like Rico does. And I have other subscriber, Cody's been sending me a bunch of beers. These guys really support me outstandingly. And if it wasn't for those guys and all the rest of you people that send me beers, and a lot of the breweries, Six Point and Lagunitas and so many others that send me beers, this would have ended a long time ago, guys. So as long as I have these subscribers that send me these wonderful, awesome, outstanding, world-class beers that I cannot get here, it will continue. So once again, thanks again to everybody. If I didn't mention your name, everybody that sends me beers to review, I do appreciate it. This is a fairly big beer at 9.10%, and they're calling this a Imperial Boston Stout. So I don't know what a Boston Stout is. Don't know what to expect from this. Being a Trillium beer, I'm hoping it's going to be really impressive. These guys know how to make some really tasty beers in multiple styles. Their IPAs and double IPAs, their New England style beers are very impressive, guys. And you can't rely on that to be, you can have flagship beers and this and that and the other, but unless you can do a multitude of different styles, IPAs, double IPAs, stouts, porters, Hefeweizens, pale ales, you can't rely on one beer or two beers to carry your brewery. So these guys do a bunch of different stuff. So we're going to find out what a Imperial Boston Stout is. As far as a note from Greg here, he said, Super Secret Stairs from Trillium of Boston. Imperial Stout is the amped up version of Secret Stairs. And I reviewed that on review 2471 and I rated it a 99. And this is an amped up version of that, so maybe it'll get to 10 on this. He said he bought this at the brewery on October the 27th. And today is the 9th of November. So pretty damn fresh. It's amazing to me that these guys can, of course, if you bought it at the brewery, it's going to be fresh, more than likely. And boxing it up and shipping it to me. And I still get these beers that are sent to me from multiple subscribers that are fresher than what I can buy beers here at Kroger's or even the Barrel Chest, the craft beer store that I go to occasionally, and the little gas station GBs that have a lot of the beers that Kroger's and those guys at Barrel Chest carry, but for a lot less money. I mean, I can't get the stuff that fresh here. I don't know. The distribution in this state is horrific. It is freaking horrific. I mean, I'm damn lucky if I can find a Bell's Two Hearted Ale that's younger than 2.5 months old. I'm serious. And half the time it's 3.5 months old when I go look at it. So all you guys that can get these beers fresh at the beer store, or whether you have to get them at the brewery, feel lucky that you can get beers that fresh, because it doesn't happen around here. I feel like a little redheaded stepchild. Cry my beer. No, I ain't gonna do that. Let's go over to Untappd. See if there's a different. Oh, look at the commercial description on this, guys. I'm gonna read it pretty quick here. Drawing inspiration from our classic dry Boston Stout, we developed an amplified recipe perfect for the chilly nights of late fall in New England. Super secret stout. So we're in the fall here, guys, too. It's about 45 degrees outside. Probably a little warmer than it is in New England. Pouring a deep pitch black hue with subtle ruby highlights and a khaki head, Super Secret Stairs offers a bold, enticing nose with aromas of rich Mexican hot chocolate, cinnamon, brown sugar, and freshly brewed coffee. So it doesn't say that they introduced coffee to it, but they're giving that as a description. So I don't know whether you'd want to sell this for a long period of time or not, because if it did have any coffee introduced into it, that's going to fade over time. Waves of melted milk chocolate wash over the palate, underlined by notes of ground hazelnuts, vanilla cream, and chewy molasses cookies. With a nourishing medium to full mouthfeel and light bitterness, Super Secret Stout is balanced with a fairly smoky, drying roast that makes for a cozy, mouth-watering sip. Sounds very, very enticing, guys. So, we've covered everything. I don't have the IBUs on this one. Final beer of the evening for me. So once again, Greg, thanks a bunch, my brother. You are awesome. I do appreciate everything that you send me, my friend, my brother. So, let's do it. Let's get it on. Big 16-ounce can. And this thing has a lot of nastiness on the top of it. Oh, man. It has a lot of nastiness on the top of it here, guys. I gotta get that off. I don't want that in my glass or in my mouth. It's not coming off. It's like it's dried on there. Now it's coming off on my fingernail, but I can't get my shirt down in there far enough to get it off. Yeah, there you go. I got most of it off where I got to pour it, so I don't know why it's got all that on it. It's like there's beer on top of it. I don't think this thing is leaked, but it's on there. And I don't want that old beer in my glass or in my belly or anywhere. So we're going to pour this fairly aggressive, guys, a 9%er. I'm not going to be able to get it all in there. Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. I'm going to pour it all in there. Of course, I don't leave room for my big old nose in there, but it is what it is. About a finger of head, nice khaki colored head, pitch black, not a lot of light coming through it. Good looking beer. To the nose we go. Rich roasted malt, hints of caramel, toffee, black molasses, a little bit of coffee notes in there. Smells very, very enticing. I'm getting coffee. Very surprised that I'm getting the coffee. So maybe they did introduce some kind of cold brew coffee or something into the beer. And if they have, you need to drink it pretty fresh. And like he said, it does have the date on the bottom of it, so pay attention to that. Wouldn't want to sell this beer longer than a couple of months. Smells very nice. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Greg. Oh, wow. That is very pleasant. It's got a nice sweetness to it, too, like it's had lactose introduced into it. Oh, wow. Very, very nice. Of course, I shouldn't be surprised. These guys at Trillium, I don't think they can make a bad beer. I mean, I don't think I've had anything from these guys that was not impressive. Very nice roasted malt. And it does have more of a milk chocolate taste than a bittersweet chocolate. I am getting the coffee. Very nice. Very impressive. I don't know why I act so surprised being Trillium. That is freaking awesome, guys. I would buy this beer if I could get it here. That is delicious. That is absolutely delicious. That is a well-made beer. And a 9%er. Like I said, the only drawback to cellaring this beer, I'm afraid the coffee notes may dissipate and go away. Other than that, with the ABV at 9.10%, you could probably cellar this beer for a long time. But I'm afraid the coffee notes are going to dissipate, and like hops do in IPAs and double IPAs if you do. So I would probably recommend to drink this in the first month or two, 3 at the most, and not cellar this 6, 8, 12 months or 2 or 3 years. It's still going to be a good beer, but your coffee notes are probably going to be a little more subdued than what I'm getting here with this fresh version. So, well, it's right out of the fridge. We're going to sip on it for a little bit, see if I get any other taste or aromas out of it. That's impressive, though. Very, very, very nice beer. I'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I've been sipping on this for a while now. Not a lot of lacing, and that's common for bigger beers, 9% and above. The only way that I would say this could probably be better is to put it in some kind of bourbon barrel. Other than that, it is awesome. It's pretty tasty beer, and I got the date on it, and I got the ABV on it, and that's about all you're going to get usually from these breweries. The IBUs are not that critical anymore, but depending on the hopping techniques, it throws that calculations out the window, guys. And I've told you that many times before here recently. So as you can see, it looks pretty thin and watery, and that's the first thing the other half said. Tastes a little thin. Didn't use any oats or anything like that in the brewing process, but it could taste a little thin to some people. I find it very enjoyable. Very nice coffee notes. The chocolate is more of a milk chocolate than a bittersweet chocolate. Roasted malt, caramel toffee, hints of some black molasses. Not a lot of dark fruit coming through. Very enjoyable, though. I did enjoy this. So Greg, once again, my brother, I do appreciate it. Trillium makes some good stuff, and anytime I can get my hands on anything from Trillium or Treehouse or a lot of the New England breweries that are brewing awesome beers, I do appreciate it. So, final chug. Wow, delicious. Absolutely delicious, guys. Not disappointed at all. Was wondering what a Boston Imperial Stout was like. To me, it tastes like basically an Imperial Stout. But I am getting the coffee notes. I'd be very damn surprised if they didn't introduce any kind of coffee to this beer. It doesn't say that. Don't see it on the can. Don't see it written anywhere, but I don't see how they could possibly get that kind of coffee note without introducing some coffee to the beer. So if they didn't, I am blown away that they didn't introduce some kind of cold brew coffee to the beer. And with that being said, like I said earlier, probably not something you'd want to cellar for a long time. You probably want to drink this fairly fresh within the first 3 or 4 months to get that coffee note, because once you try to cellar a beer like this for 8, 12 months or longer, I kind of feel like the coffee is going to fade. It may not, but I kind of feel like it will. So with that being said, with the freshness of this one, I find it very, very, very impressive, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to give this an A. 95, right down the middle of the A category. So let's run over to Beer Advocate. They say 4.29, outstanding. I agree with that 100%. And for our final check-in, we'll run over to Untapped. They have it at 4.17. A numbers from everybody, guys. Definitely one you would want to try to pick up if you can get your hands on it. Trillium probably, as far as I know, doesn't do any distribution. You have to go to the brewery to pick their stuff up or trade for it to get your hands on it. This is a good one. Most of the stuff that has Trillium written on it are good ones. I don't think you can go wrong by trading or making the trip there. So with that being said, Greg, once again, my brother, I do appreciate it, sir. These Trillium beers are awesome. Like I said earlier, final beer of the evening, getting ready to go have some dinner. So if you've had this one from Trillium Brewing, their super secret stairs, and on the can it's calling it a Imperial Boston Stout. Very tasty, guys. Pick it up if you can get your hands on it. You won't be disappointed if you like this style of beer, guys, and I do. Like I said, the only thing that I would say that make this beer any better is put it in a bourbon barrel. But if you do that, a lot of times the coffee notes fade out and you don't get, the bourbon overpowers the coffee notes. So if you want to taste that coffee, pick it up, drink it fresh. So if you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in that fridge.